evening or morning, whatever. My name is Olga, and I am going to show you how to do this experiment today. What this activity is it demonstrates what radioactivity or half-life is. So, the first thing I want you to do is open up your bag of M&Ms and put every single person's into your box like this. Next, you need to count all of the M&Ms and put them in the chart like so. Now, I can't really write, so Miss Borth is going to help me with this. Starting off, we had 17 M&Ms. So right here, under trial 0, I'm going to put a 17. Just like that. Next, you're going to flip all of the M&Ms so that the M is showing. This tells you that there is 100% radioactive isotopes right now. Now comes the fun part. Next, what you have to do is shake the box 3 times. Not 4, not 2, but 3. Like this. So now you're going to pull out all of the M&Ms that have no M's and record that number here. So our first trial, we had 8 M&Ms without any M's on them. So I'm going to put my 8 right there. Okay, now that you have that, next what you need to do is count the parent M&Ms that are left. In my case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 left. And you're going to put this in your chart right over here. So, I am going to write 9 right here in the parent, right next to the 8. Just like so. Now comes for trial 2. So you're going to give it to your partner, and they're going to shake it up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now take out any M&Ms with no M's in this number plus the number directly above it, like this, is your new daughters. Count what's remaining and put that in your parents' column like this. Miss Borth will show you. We're going to take our 5 removed and put that right there. Now, we are going to add our 8 from the row directly above it. And 5 plus 8 is 13. All right. Now to get the parent, we're going to come back over to the bucket and count. So I have 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to come over here and write my 4. She picked out 2. So you're going to put your 2 right there that she picked out. And our 2 plus our 13, the one directly above it, gives you 15. So we're going to to get the parent number right here, we're going to go over to our bucket and count. So we have 1, 2. So we're going to write 2 right there. So, I have 2 left. So I'm going to shake it again after Miss Fourth writes all my numbers down. And I'm going to shake it how many times? 3. So I'm going to shake it. 1, 2, 3. Ignore that. Yeah! Well, that third shake was quite a shake, but don't have to live. So, Miss Fourth is now going to count my M&Ms. So she took 2 out. We record that right there. So our 2 plus our 15 is equal to 17. And if we look over in our bucket, we said there were none left. So, right next to it, you put a 0. And look at that! My awesome shakes flipped both of them over. So I'm done. You can now eat your M&Ms. Nom, 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 nom. Now I'm going to take it over to Miss Fourth, who will tell you how to do the rest. Now, we're going to learn how to graph it. So if you flip your page, you notice there's graph paper. I know that there's 17 M&Ms in my bag because we counted it, the very first one. That's where we put it. We counted. So, I need 17 rows along the X and the Y axis. Now, along the X axis, this is where the daughter cells are. And along the Y-axis, this is where the parent cells are. So, we have to label our axis. So along the bottom, because I only have 17, I'm going to do 1 per line. And I also need 17 straight up the side. Okay, now this is my graph. Don't forget, with the graph, you have to title it. So I'm going to call this Half-Life M&Ms. Alright, so this is our graph. And we are going to plot every single one of our trials. So, our very first trial, which is trial 0, right there, we have 0 daughter cubes and 17 parent cubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot 0 daughter cells right here and 17 parent cells. So I'm going to put a point right there. Next point is 8 daughter and 9 parent. So 8 daughter and 9 parent. So I'm going to go and find 8, and I'm going to go up to 9 and put a point. Now I'm going to label this trial 1. And I should also probably label this trial 0. Alright, our next point is 13 and 4. 13 daughter, 4 parent. So, I'm going to go over to 13 and up to 4. So I'm going to put a point right there and label that 2. So, our third point is 15 and 2. So I'm going to go over to 15 and up to 2. And I'm going to label that 3. Our fourth trial, which is also our last trial, is 17 and 0. So I'm going to put my final point at 17 and 0, which is right here, and label that 4. So if you look at your packet and flip over to this page right here, there are some questions down at the bottom. This is what we're going to be doing now. Now, how many trials did it take for half of the cubes to decay to daughter material? What this is asking is, if you look at your graph or your chart, how many times did it take for your total amount to decay halfway? So I have 17 starting off. Half of 17 is 8.5. So I'm going to go down and find something that's very close to 8.5. For me, it happens to be 9. So, 8.5, this is about half. So this is also equal to 1 trial. So on this other page, I'm going to say it took 1 trial to decay halfway. For you, this may be different. It may be 2 or 3 trials. It depends. Now the next question. After half of the cubes decayed, how many trials did it take for the remaining cubes to decay halfway? So what this means is, starting here at your half point, I marked that right there. What is half of 9? It's about 4.5. So, I'm going to go through here and find right around where 4.5 is. So for me, the closest number is 4. So what I'm going to do is this is 1 half-life. And this, right here, I only moved 1 time, so this equals 1 trial. So, it took me 1 trial to decay What is the half-life of your M&Ms? That is the last question. How you do this is you take the average of your first 2 answers. And what that means is I do 1 plus 1, which equals 2. So I take that 1 plus 1 and divide by the total number of numbers I have. So in this case I have 1, 2. And 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So my half-life equals 1 trial. And now I am finished. Now it's your turn to try. So, I'm going to pass, while this video is playing, I passed out materials. And you need to do exactly like this video. Fill out the papers and turn it in on my front desk. Clumsy hands! And you're going to calculate